From this moment on, everything's being captured. We should be good. Get a little bit of water. Oh, I don't think the focus is on. Nope, it wasn't. I think I'm in focus. I hope I'm in focus. I hope I stay in focus. Alrighty. Yeah. Episode 2. All right, so in this episode, we are working on the design. Let's do it. So let's just jump right into it. So I have an idea of what I want for the hoodie to look like. I want it to look kind of adventure-y, like outdoorsy, yeah, Atlas type of, just all around outdoors, right? Well, we want to see what we can get as far as something that will give us that idea, but I also don't know exactly what to create from complete scratch, I would say. So let's open up Kittle, go to templates, and we see what they offer us. So we want to look for, I guess, like SUV car stuff. So let's try, I guess, SUV. Let's try that first. So now we're in Kittle, and we're gonna type in SUV. Okay, hit enter for that, and let's see what we got. Okay, so we got some good ones here. Few that we like. I like that one. Let's see that one. Let's see. I like a few of these actually, but we want to stay true to what we have, right? So let me see. Let's try travel SUV and see what happens. Okay, got a few. This one's cool, but we don't have a van. Oh, that one's nice. We might have to save that one. Oh, we like that one too. Save this, save that one. I like this one as well. And that one's a free one that we can use. This one's not bad. And this is nice and simple. That one's cool. That one's nice. We liked a few of these. There's one specifically that I saw earlier though that I want to use. Oh shoot, we picked it by accident. But yeah, one we saw earlier that we want to use, so let's take the time to find that one. I don't think I saved it, but then again, maybe I did. Okay, this was not bad. I like that one. That one's cool too. All right, but let's get focused and find the one that we were looking for. Okay, so here it is. This one. Here it is. This one right here, we're gonna like it. Okay, so this one we have saved, right? We might have to go back, but all right, so as you can see, this one's not a free design. So this is what I also want to do with this series, is create this content, like see what free options we have so we can get the money for this car. So this is where we are. We have this design. I really like this design. So we have this option, right? I want to ask Gemini to take the photo that we now have. Remember, we're doing this strictly with Honda Elements. So Gemini and Nano Banana is who we're going to ask, aka Gemini, to take this picture that we have that we liked. And let me see. I like to be polite to AI, you know, because I've seen too many movies. So, but you know, it doesn't hurt. So can you make the vehicle in this image, into we can just try our basic Honda Element. And use the same lighting and graphic design something's not right there. Design style, right? And we're gonna see what it comes up with. And I set it to thinking because we want a more thorough like image instead of fast, because fast is quick for like maybe for things that you don't want as much detail with, but I like to use thinking because it gives more of a thorough recreation. So we're gonna hit submit and see what Nano Banana comes up with. So I like the mountains here. I like the lighting. It's like a very frontier type thing where you want to kind of like encapsulate what you want. You want the car to be an adventurer, off-road, but ready for anything. So yeah. All right, so I'm not actually mad at this. So we pretty much have the same, I think it did a pretty good job. So we have the same lighting style, same graphic design. Everything else is pretty much the same. It just changed this like Explorer here looking design and it turned it into this. So we only just really needed this because the rest we're gonna do in Illustrator. Because I don't necessarily trust AI when it comes to making these different like fonts and words and stuff like that. They kind of misspell stuff, and then after a while I was like, we have to keep generating. And I find that when you keep generating, it kind of messes up the thought process of the AI that I'm using, and then it'll mess up something else, and then I have to keep going. So I was like, all right, let me just focus on what I really want to get changed, which is this graphic here, and everything else we can change after that. All right, so let's go ahead and download this full size. So now that we have that downloaded, we are going to open up Illustrator. And I'm still working off an old version of Illustrator because in all honesty, it does the same. Like there's AI incorporated in so many other things now that you don't necessarily need it in everything. So I have Illustrator is the last one. So we have that. And so here we are going to create new custom 10 by 10, just a square. We're basically gonna take the image that we got. For some reason, I think Illustrator updated for me overnight, but we're gonna take the image that we got. In this case, I do wanna open it up. I don't wanna necessarily place it because I wanna be able to just get the image. So if we go to, so here we go. But another thing that's great too, right? If you're working on a Windows machine, Copilot is now incorporated in Windows OS, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this image, right? And now that we have it open, we're gonna go here to edit with designer. And this is a Copilot feature that I'm so happy is a part of. I like to go here and fine tune a little bit because as you can see, even though this isn't a huge deal, but as you can see, it's a little blurry and pixelated, right? We're gonna of course fix that in Illustrator, but for the most part, I wanna get that down to a minimum. So now that we have it opened in Microsoft Designer, which is a part of Copilot, we can actually remove the background. We can add blur, like bokeh blur. We can change the background color. You can actually turn this into a sticker, which actually might be good. Will probably come in handy later. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back from that and we're gonna adjust this so that our sharpness is a little better. For right now, you get the idea. So we're gonna save this, right? I'm a stickler for just making sure I have my steps covered. So I don't like to delete a previous step, so I'll save it as a copy. Okay, so for the most part, this is what we came up with for our design. So we took a mask, we masked out all the extras, we masked out all of this, all of the text here, the grunge effect. We just basically just wanted this, we just basically wanted this shape. So we went and used the pen tool and we kind of just went over, we like traced it, right? We traced it. I mean, of course I did what I could, freehand, and then we just kept going, right? So after we did that, we basically just had this shape, right? After we masked out everything. So after we did that, then we went and used like, of course, like the shapes tool. We typed on a path and we got our text up here, right? Instead of it being this message, we came up with this message, right? And then after that, we kind of just mimicked everything else down here. But of course we had our own, we came up with our own disclaimer here, kind of like a tagline from like a commercial. And of course we didn't like car tracks, so we needed it more centered towards the Element community and Honda itself. So we came up with this. Since we're in a cube, basically, essentially, being specific for my case, I want to use this car, of course, to travel, right? So I want to have adventures. I want to be able to see the world. I want to be able to, you know, just be excited and everything like that. So we're in a cube and we're having an adventure. So we came up with Adventure Cubed. We came up with Adventure Cube. All right, we rated an E for everyone, of course. 16 or older, of course, depending on where you are, being able to drive. We came up with our own barcode, which of course is the manufacturing years that Honda Element has had, that Honda has had the elements in manufacture or production. So we came out with the 2 years for the barcode where Honda had the elements in actual production from 2003 to 2011. And then of course we came out with that, which was established in 2003. We had our own little globe here, and we put, for those who see beauty in corners and freedom in function, the Honda Element isn't just a vehicle, it's a lifestyle built like a box, but made for adventure. It carries the spirit of exploration, creativity, and reliability in every mile. To own an Element is to embrace versatility, wanderlust, and community that knows what it means to truly be different. So to truly drive different, right? So this is what we have. This is our design, right? This is what we have. Like, this is our design right here. This literally would make me want to actually own, or will make me want to own a Honda Element, right? So we're gonna save this as a PNG so we can get rid of that background, so it doesn't save with this white background. And this option, of course, is gonna be for light hoodies, because this black text is gonna fight with any dark fabric, right? So we're gonna save that, and then we're also going to make a version for light hoodies, right? Printify. And we are going to basically just create this hoodie for us. So we're gonna go to catalog, and we are going to go to hoodies, right? And we have bestsellers here. I usually use the 18-500 for Gildan. It's also the cheapest option, I believe, but it's also what I want it to embody, what I want the hoodie. I wanted just a simple pullover. And I've been using Gildan and wearing Gildan for years now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here and manufacture. We're gonna choose someone that their production time isn't crazy. I usually go with, in my area, for Monster Digital, because it's less than 1 day, even though it takes anywhere from 1 to 2 days, depending on, I guess, like their shop's needs anyway. And from what I've seen anyway, aside from their rating here of 9.2, they've been pretty good. I've gotten a few reviews already now when I've used them in the past for other designs where it's worked out. So I would always choose manually and not use Printify's choice. So then we would go here to start designing. And basically what we would do is we have this blank hoodie here, right, a template, and we're gonna automatically flip to the back. So once we upload our artwork here, all right, and once we have it, we look for it in our library, right? Which we put 2 up here because I believe we made a quick little change on the back of our hoodie. Now, that's not bad. That's not bad. So that's basically what it's gonna look like once it gets printed by the shop and sent out for either your sample or to your customer, right? This is cool, but I like my designs a little bit more dramatic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna widen or enlarge this a little bit more, make sure it's centered, and then we're gonna check again. See, now that's more like it. Now we could make it a little bit bigger, but as long as it's in this parameter here, like the artwork, the actual artwork is in the parameter, we're fine. Oh, let's zoom in a little bit. let me just zoom in just real quick. So basically this is what it would look like, right? So then we would of course save the product, and then here is where you would have to get into the whole SEO process, which is the efficiency of the sale, like how your title is, your description for your item, and then you would have to take care of your mockups. You can take care of the prices you want to sell it for. You can also go and see what your profit margins for the most part said product. So it'll tell you like as far as like how much the production is, how much it'll cost. You can offer your free shipping. But yeah, Printify does that for you kind of already. So you can either do this or it's up to you completely. Taking in. So after you do that, you hit publish. And now basically, since I've already linked it to my Etsy shop, which you can see up here, it's just going to take its time to publish it. So it's going to literally all the information that you took from right here in Printify, you figured out the price, you figured out the title, you figured out the description, any keywords for like searching in Etsy, you can figure that all out here. And then of course you can do it on the back end of Etsy, but I like to do as much as possible as I can on Printify first and then hit publish. So now that it's published, as you can see, green light, and we go to our shop manager, and you should now see your listing, which is right here. So of course we're gonna take some time to change it and make it right. But as for right now,